I am feeling really frustrated right now, and I wanted to talk about a way that like society is still pushing sexism on women, and it's really bothering me and it makes me feel frustrated. So, if you think back to like the 1950s, like us women, we were expected to like do all the cleaning, do all the cooking and stuff, to do the laundry, to do the ironing, to do the dishes, like vacuuming everywhere, dusting, like all of these household activities. And even though we had like appliances that made these things easier than like they were in the 800s, that's still a lot of work. That's like legit real work. And then on top of that, like if we had kids, we were also expected to raise them and to like be there at like to like help instill them with morals um and stuff, like, and help with homework and do like basically make sure they don't get kidnapped or killed. And then we also had to do like cooking and stuff. Like these were all expectations that women have always had to deal with. And then but today we still all of these duties are expected to be like we're still expected to do all of these duties. But then for men, what men were expected to do was basically like to get a job and earn income and stuff. And some men like had educational opportunities and stuff. But now us women are expected to do all of the jobs that like we did in like the 1950s, and to do the jobs that men did in the 1950s, where we're expected to, in addition to like running an entire household, we are expected to like get an education and to have like a full-time job, and like basically to pay for everything, to be a career woman and stuff. Yet we're still expected to do like all the housework. It's like, why is it that we're basically stuck? Like society expects us to do the work of two people and then not complain about it. It's like men are still basically only expected to be like breadwinners. They're not expected to help around the house. So it's just it really feels like in fighting, like sometimes I feel like in fighting for for equality, it's like we're asking for extra responsibilities, but not like we're not asking men to have equal responsibilities. It's like they complain and they're like, oh, if women cared about equal rights, everyone should have to be drafted. And it's like, no, one, the draft is basically slavery and it violates human rights, and war is bad and immoral, and we should never advocate for forced murder. And two, basically, it's like men don't want the responsibilities that women have. They don't do the housework, they don't do the cleaning and stuff. So it's really really frustrating to me that like men still only have the job of one person, yet women are expected to do the job of two people. And then like society like what's like I'm thinking of an example from recently where it's like we are somehow expected to juggle like both a career and raising kids, and yet like childcare costs in like at least in America, it's like that can take up huge portions of people's budgets. Like how are how are us women expected to do so many things at once? Like, why are we expected to do basically double the work that we used to do, and yet we're treated as if like feminism doesn't matter or rubbish like that? It's like no, like I feel like in a lot of ways, like we're still really, really fighting for equality. Like women have like double the responsibilities of men. And I wanted to rant about that because I feel like a lot of times today, like men take the work that my gender does for like granted and stuff. And it's really, 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 it's frustrating. And it feels like society acts as if like women's work or like traditionally feminine jobs like aren't real work, which is like like it's complete rubbish. Like what's like an example I can think of is like sewing. Like think of how much garment workers are paid compared to like other workers. Like something like that. It's really frustrating seeing the way that like women are still treated like badly in society despite like all the years. and like all the things that like feminism is like done so far. It's like we still desperately like need more improvement. Like we need to start looking at like women's jobs. Like we need to start looking at like what's there like daycare, we need to start looking at women like who are stay-at-home moms. Like they are providing like the same level of like job work as someone who's running a daycare. Like why do we see women who do jobs at home as like their work as like somehow not equal to the amount of work that men do? It's something that really, I went on a rant about this, but this is something that I feel really passionate about because it's like women's like work that we do is real work, and yet we're looked down on it. Like people look down on women who are like stay-at-home moms or whatever, and like society also like hates on like we hate on like single moms and stuff, despite the fact that they're literally doing all the work of a woman in the 1950s and the work of a man without any additional help, and like complain about them being like welfare queens and rubbish like that. It's like as as a woman, like I care about these women's issues, and I feel like they really need to be talked about, and I just really wanted to shed some light on that frustration that I feel with the expectations that society pushes onto me as a woman. So thank you for listening to me rant, and I hope that you have a good day.